Right.
Might sneak that in.
Welcome to councillors and staff and those joining online and in the public gallery. We begin by acknowledging the Eastern Maar people as the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today and pay our respects to their elders past and present. We extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people here today. We'll now have the prayer. Would you please stand? Almighty God, we humbly beseech your blessing on the council. Direct and prosper its deliberations for the welfare of the people of the Moyne Shire. Amen. Please note that today's meeting is being live streamed and can be viewed by the general public via Council's Facebook page and later uploaded to Council's website. By participating in and addressing those present at the meeting, you consent to any information you disclose, including any personal information or sensitive information being recorded and uploaded to the website. Apologies. I have one apology from Councillor Mead, and Councillor Lockett is trying to zoom in, so I won't class him as an apology, so he may join. I call for a motion to accept the apology, please. Do we have a Councillor Foster? Do we have a seconder, please? Councillor Gleeson, thank you. All those in favour, 4. So that against that is 5-0. Thank you.
I'm here to clarify.
Oh,
Okay.
sounds like Councillor Lockett is present.
Oh, sorry. Councillor Lockett, are you there?
Yep. Sorry. Just having
sorry.
the update.
Welcome, Councillor Lockett. Are there any declarations of interest? There being no public participants at today's meeting, we move to the officers' report. This being a meeting in the caretaker period and also being conducted as a hybrid meeting with remote attendees, I have requested that officers give a more comprehensive introduction. The meeting is being specifically conducted to consider the 2023-2024 annual report. Therefore, there are no further items on the agenda. Right, the officers' report. I will now call on the Corporate and Governance Services Officer, Mr. Small.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Councillors, thank you. This report forms the second stage in the process for the consideration of the annual report during this caretaker period. And the Council is now to consider the 23-24 annual report, and this is needed to be done by the 25th of October 2024. The contents of the annual report is set out in legislation required to include a report on the operations of the Council, an audited performance statement, an audited financial statements, a copy of the auditor's report on the performance statement, a copy of the auditor's report on the financial statements, the signed governance and management checklist, and any other matters prescribed by regulations. The central objective of the annual report is to inform the Moyne community and stakeholders of Council's performance during the financial year against the objectives and priorities outlined in the Council Plan 2021 to 2025. The report highlights the key achievements of Council over the past 12 months. The section entitled Our Performance includes progress against the strategic indicators contained in the Council Plan. And the section entitled Capital Works lists the capital projects undertaken by the Council during the year. The Council has been able to complete 90% of the capital works budget in the 23-24. This is up from 70% in the previous year. The report highlights the importance of the road network to the Council and community, and also highlights major initiatives for the year. 44 major work activities were completed during the year, and these included extensive road network upgrades in the Chatsworth surrounds and also the Minja-Hawksdale Road. There were recreation upgrades for the MacArthur Recreation and Cultural Precinct Stage 2, Panmure Netball Change Facilities, Mortlake Recreation Reserve Court resurfacing, Port Ferry Football and Netball Club lighting, and also works on the Gardens Caravan Park services and the Koroit Township Renewal Stage 2. Other multi-year capital projects progressed during the year included Port Ferry, Campbell Street and James Street drainage and footpath works, Killarney Septic and Mains Power upgrade, Mortlake Avenue of Honour, Warndoo Chatsworth Road rehabilitation. At the special meeting of 8 October 2024, the Council adopted the 23-24 annual financial statements and the 23-24 performance statements. These have been certified by the endorsed councillors and were submitted to Council's auditors, Vago. On receipt of the certified documents, Vago was required to provide Council with the 2 Vago audit reports in respect of the 23-24 annual report and the 23-24 performance statement. These 2 Vago reports have been received and are appended to the respective statements and have been included in the annual report. The annual financial statements reported that the operating position for 23-24 was a deficit of 6.5 million compared to the previous year's surplus of 2.4 million. This was primarily due to 2 accounting treatment anomalies. The 23-24 Commonwealth Financial Assistance Grant of 10.4 million was received in advance in the 22-23 year. The grant relating to the 24-25 year was correctly received in July 24, and therefore there has been no grant recorded as being received in the 23-24 financial year. Future years will now have this grant funding correctly aligned. So the second unusual transaction was the non-cash adjustment of 3.1 million that the council needed to recognise on the transfer of farmland in the Peterborough area to the Great Ocean Road and Parks Authority. Had these 2 transactions not been required, the council would have been able to report an operating surplus for the 23-24 financial year of $7 million. The reported working capital position for 23-24 of 2.23 is down from the previous financial year due to less cash being on hand at 30th June 24 than in the prior year. This was because, as reported before, there's a higher proportion of capital works being completed this financial year, and the Commonwealth Grants Commission funds were not received until July 24, so therefore they didn't form part of the working capital at June 24. Similarly, liquidity at 30th June 24 was impacted by cash and investments on hand at that date being 14 million, which is 14 million less than that which was on hand at June 23. Again, this is primarily due to the non-receipt of 10.4 million of financial assistance grant payment in the 23-24 year, and also the council had increased its capital works expenditure by an additional 2.8 million over the previous year. Council has fully repaid all of its borrowings at the 30th of June 24, down from an amount of 2.4 million owed at the 30th of June 23. The council's rate revenue per property was relatively low at $1,576. This is very favourable when compared with similar councils. The performance statements contain financial indicators, and they indicate that the council continues to be in a sound financial position. Other important indicators include recognising that council planning applications decided within the set timeframe is now 75%, which is up from 63% of the previous year. Very favourably, staff turnover for the current year is down to is running at 39.9%, which is down from 17.6% in the previous year. This is a pleasing improvement in council's workforce stability. The annual report includes a certified governance and management checklist. This document outlines what steps the council has undertaken to meet a number of set governance activities. It is noted that in the version of the annual report contained in the agenda, the signature block relating to the governance and management checklist has erroneously been included on page 69 of the report, and this will be moved to page 66. The 23-24 annual report, including this change and other minor changes, will be retained on council's website very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Small. Are there any questions or discussion, please, on item 2.1? Look, if I could jump in, Mr. Small, can you clarify why you consider that Moyne is in a solid financial position in light of the 6.5 million operating deficit for the year? If you could just clarify that again, please.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Councillors, I explained previously that we were comforted by the fact that the $6.5 million deficit really arose due to two accounting treatments. One being the correct recognition of the Commonwealth Grants financial year Commonwealth Financial Assistance Grant in the correct financial year, which meant that unfortunately the 23-24 did not include a financial assistance grant of $10 million. And secondly, there was a non-cash adjustment for the 3.1 million of land that we transferred across to the Great Ocean Road Coast and Parks Authority in relation to Petersborough area, which is in line with the transfers of other land to that authority from other councils. Also, the performance statement has some measures on financial performance, and those were coming up very favourable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Small. Are there any further questions or discussion? Councillor Gleeson.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Just in relation to the councillor expenses and income, I just want to direct comments to the CEO in relation to what councillors can and can't claim in light of Councillor Dukas' 14,000 kilometres. At our induction, I guess we were instructed that unless it was a sanctioned Moyne event or sanctioned by the mayor, then we couldn't claim. And so there's a lot of things that certainly I haven't claimed in relation to trips to Macarthur and Hawkesdale and Mortlake. So in light of that, Councillor Dugas' claim, and I'm certainly not suggesting any wrongdoing, but in the induction for the new councillors, it'd be really, really important to be very clear as to what councillors can and can't claim. So I just wanted to make that note. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gleeson. Mr. Small, do you want to respond to that? No, thank you. Any further questions or discussion, please, before I seek a mover and seconder of the officer's report?
Yeah, I reckon with no one else. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. On page 76, Mr. Small, I suppose, would answer this one. Or Mr. Ralston, under maternal, child and health. I note that the number of children, it's separated between children and the number of Aboriginal children. I note that the number of Aboriginal children that have attended is nearly 10% higher than other children, which I believe is a good outcome. I think that going forward, the Shire should look at lifting our 87.8, is it 8.94%. We should be up around the 98s. Councillor Foster, what would you think for child and maternal health?
Can't answer that, Councillor Dukas. I don't know what could stand. I guess 100% would be ideal.
Well, it would be, but there's no such thing as 100%, is there?
Question, Councillor Dukas.
So I would just like to highlight how good the response is from our local Aboriginal community to get these children into the maternity health centres.
Thank you, Councillor Dukas.
I think they should be congratulated. And another one, if I may, if no one else has got any questions, to Mr. Arnott on the following page, which is 77. This is a nice, easy question. At the top there, it talks about sealed local road maintenance and condition standards. The result for 2024 is 98.84%. So if I read that correctly, 98.84% of our roads are to our road standards condition. So we've only got 1.something% of our roads that need upgrading in one way or another.
Mr.
Thank you. Yes, that's correct. However, there is periodic condition assessments done, and every 3 years or so we undertake those condition assessments. So that will be forthcoming in 2 years' time, and that number may then reduce. But yes, currently 98, I think 0.7% of our network is in in serviceable condition.
So going forward, we might even lift the service or the conditions of those roads in our road management plan. We might aim to go a step higher and make it even better. Funds permitting, of course.
Yes, that is that's our objective, is to get that as high as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arnott. Any further questions or discussion, please, before I seek a mover and seconder for the officer recommendation? If not, do I have a mover of the annual report for 2023-2024? Do I have a mover for that, please?
Looks like I'm.
Councillor Dukas. Do we have a seconder, please? Councillor Gleeson. Councillor Dukas as mover of the officer report recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I suppose if I was going to make a statement on this, it'd take an hour because there's so much information, but it's all been accumulated, and the good thing about it is it's gone to the auditor, or the Auditor General, I should say, and from time to time they make recommendations on how to do things a little better, how to streamline things, etc., etc. We've got a risk and audit committee that senior officers are on, a couple of councillors and independent members. So all I can say is that even though the bottom line doesn't look good, technically, it is, I suppose, a financial sound management position. Next year, Mr. Small, things will balance out a lot better, and it'll read a lot better, and people might understand it a bit easier. So all I can say is we're hanging in there, we're doing our job, and congratulations to the councillors and officers for being prudent in their management and in the way they go forward.
Thank you, Councillor Dukas. Councillor Gleeson, the seconder of the officer recommendation.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Just as a member of the Audit and Risk, it's really good to be able to be part of that committee and just keep an eye on things over the year and 4 different meetings. But as I highlighted, the greatest comment that says maintaining a solid financial position, and for that reason, I just want to congratulate all of the people that are involved, to Director Ed and your team, Craig. It's just an extraordinary effort because the times are tough. And finally, I want to say congratulations to the 7 councillors for the last term, because over that time we were able to not squirrel away, but come out with a $3 million profit. And so that is good financial management. So well done to you guys as well. And I wish everybody in the next council all the best. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gleeson. Does any councillor wish to speak for the officer recommendation? Does any councillor wish to speak against the council officer recommendation? Councillor Purcell.
Thank you, Mayor. Mine is probably a point of clarification. The motion actually says consider the report. I just find it hard to work out what consider means in this. Does it consider it good, consider it bad? So if we read the report, does that mean we've considered it?
Mr. Everstein.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Purcell. So yeah, that is essentially the intent. So obviously through the audit process, the auditors and the Auditor General have reviewed the report and provided their guidance back to council. So the intent, I guess, is just that to consider the report and to acknowledge that it has been received, and then obviously through the forum today, inquire into any points of clarification required.
Thank you. Right.
So, Mayor,
Sorry, Councillor Purcell.
So we don't need to approve it, we don't need to pass it, we don't need to agree with it, we don't need to support it, we just need to have read it.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. Yes, that's right, Councillor Purcell. That's the intent, is to confirm that it has been received and considered.
Thank you.
Any other councillor wish to speak against the officer recommendation? If not, I'll refer.
Mr. Mayor,
Yep.
Considering what Councillor Purcell said, I'm happy to put in after considers the word endorse, that the council consider and endorse the annual report. Put some more strength in it, if that's required.
Mr. Small, as author of this, would you be comfortable with that, the inclusion and endorse in the officer recommendation?
Thank you, Mayor. I don't see any reason why you can't. I mean, basically what the
Yes.
CEO explained is what's required, but there's no reason why you can't endorse it.
Right.
So it has to be signed off, so I thought if people have to sign off on it, maybe they endorse, they wouldn't just sign off on something you've considered. Needs a bit more meat, so I just thought I'd throw that out there. If councillor Gleeson is willing, then we'll just put the words endorse in there and strengthen the recommendation.
Councillor Gleeson, as seconder of the officer recommendation, are you comfortable with the addition of those words?
Yes, that'll help us pass and move on. Absolutely.
Thank you. Right, any further discussion? Well, I'll put item 2.1.
You want to add that in officially, so I move that that the recommendation, we add the words endorse, that the council considers and endorse.
Yes, Ms. Toohey.
Thank you. If I may, through you, Mayor, it's just to provide an extra layer of, I guess, governance oversight to it for the benefit of this group. If I could just refer to the Local Government Act 2020 that uses the very specific term to consider. So section 100 says that the meeting is to consider the annual report. The purpose of section 18, previous section, the Mayor must report on the implementation of the council plan by presenting the annual report at a council meeting. So there's nothing in section 1 that speaks to the requirement to endorse. I just wanted to provide that there from the Act's perspective as to which way you want to go.
I'm happy either way. I just thought after what councillor Purcell said, if it means strengthening the recommendation, we add it. If council decides not to, I'm happy either way.
Can we get a clarification?
Yeah, thank through you, Mayor. So the minimum requirement here is to consider. But if councillors would like to add endorse, there's nothing that prohibits us from doing that. But we do need to retain consider in the motion.
Right, councillor Dukas as mover and councillor Gleeson as seconder. You're comfortable with the amended recommendation?
If that's what, well, I think we've got to put that amendment to the vote, don't we?
Yeah.
Right. Put in the words and endorse.
I'll call for a vote on the amendment. Those in favour? 4. Against, that is 6-0 in favour. Right, I'll put the amended officer recommendation to the vote. Those in favour, 4. Against, carried, 6-0. Thank you. Finishes item 2.1. Is there anything further, Mr. Everstein, CEO?
Thank you, through you, Mayor. Just quickly, I'd like to just pay a quick tribute to the councillors. Today marking the final meeting of this council. So on behalf of the Moyne Shire Council officers, congratulations to all 7 councillors on the end of your term. A special thank you for your superb guidance to officers throughout the past 4 years. As demonstrated through today's annual report, despite significant headwinds throughout this term, Moyne Shire has delivered prudent, stable financial control while achieving solid improvement across many services and infrastructure projects that really matter to our community and ratepayers. We also wish to recognise Councillor Gleeson, Councillor Purcell, Councillor Mead, and of course our current Mayor, Councillor Smith, who are not contesting the current 2024 elections. All our team wish you and your families the very best for the future, and thank you for the wonderful contribution made and legacy you have created here at Moyne Shire Council. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Everstein. There being now no further business, I will now close this meeting at 26 minutes past 2. Thank you.
We're all clear.
Hey everyone, sorry about the problem at the start.
Good luck to the candidate, councillors, or councillors restanding. Good luck to everyone.
Thanks, James. All the best.
No worries. See you all around.
See ya.
Cheerio, everyone. Off to the Silverton Hotel for a cool drink. It's 31 degrees at the minute
Oh, where are you, Damien?
in Broken Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful part of the world. Go to the hot baths there.
Silverton.
Yeah,
Or Broken Hill here, yeah, right. Yeah,
Broken
okay.
Hill.
All the best, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah.
So.